Get ready with me. Let's go. We're starting out with primer this morning, and this is the Maybelline New York Master Prime by Face Studio. A few things I like about this primer is that it really soaks into the skin nicely and just leaves your skin feeling really conditioned, but it's not greasy. It doesn't clog pores, and it's got a little bit of a blurring agent and an SPF 30. Next, I'm testing this Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. I'm using the color 4C, but I noticed on their website, makeupbymario.com, they have a shade finder there. So if you're interested in this, I would check that out. And I'm also using my new StansOut beauty sponge. This foundation is very lightweight in feel, and it is luminous, but it doesn't come across as glowy. The first time I wore this, I actually wore it over nothing but my face cream, and it was really gorgeous and natural looking. And remember when I told you about the Super Goop sunscreen eyeshadow? I'm sad to report it makes my eyes water. Darn it. But anyway, I picked up this new blush when I was at Target the other day. It's by Revlon. It's called Oh Baby Pink Rose. And I'm taking this as high as I can on my cheek to get a little lift out of it. And if you don't like any shimmer in your blush, this is perfect because it's totally matte. Then to blur out some of those larger pores I have on my nose, I'm going to use my Perfect Selfie Powder. And it's always easy to tell when I've taken a photo without this on my nose because my whole face will look pretty good, but my nose will still show some of those pores. Now for the bluish purple on my inner eyes, I'm going to use a little bit of yellow color corrector by LA Colors. These are inexpensive and they're some of the best color correctors ever. The yellow color neutralizes blue and purple undertones. Even though I look like I'm doing a big blending job, I'm really just blending out the edges. When you're color correcting, you really just want to add the color right on top of the discoloration. Then once it's dry, you can go in on top of it with a little highlighter or a little bit of concealer. Now, as a reminder, I will put all of the products that I'm using in a list in the description as well as the top pinned comment. So no need to scurry with pen and pencil. To fill in all those little fine lines around my lips and a big acne scar, I'm going to use my Urban Decay Clear Lip Liner. I just trace it around my lips, then give it a finger blend, and then I go over my lips and use it as a primer as well. Since I want my eyes to be the focal point of my face, I'm going to concentrate on them and do a more natural lip today. And I absolutely love using the lip primers because then I can go in with my liquid lipstick and I don't have to use a liner. To increase the look of the volume in my lip, I'm going to increase just a little bit in the middle between my Cupid's bow and the corner of my mouth. So I'm not overlining my entire lips, just that one little section. When I stop here in just a moment, you'll see the difference between the two sides. One side is slightly more full looking. Then for a little bit of moisture and of course a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to add some lip gloss right in the middle. By only adding it to the middle of the lips, it will eventually work its way to the corners of your mouth without ending up there all gunky and sticky looking. Now, if you're new or returning, thanks for being here and thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate you. And if you're having a particular problem with your makeup, check out the playlists that I've created for you. You can access those from my main page. Think of those playlists like an a la carte menu where you can pick and choose the things that you want to learn about. And if you're in the mood for just binge watching everything, tap the over 50 makeup list and you can literally watch every single video I've ever made. Now let's do some eye makeup. I'm taking my light to medium shade with a big fluffy blending brush and I'm just packing it in the crease, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it out. Think of this as like painting a background scene in a painting first. Then I'm going to use that little smudger brush, which I absolutely adore, and I'm going to use that medium color right there. Now this is going to go under my eyes, so I want to see how dark it's going to be on my hand first, and then I'll go to my eye. And I like to use eyeshadow under my eyes instead of eyeliner because it's softer and I don't have to worry about it running all over my face. Do you see that darker brown? That's what we're going to use to frame my eye and ultimately showcase the beauty of the eye itself. Almost everyone can apply eyeshadow in the C shape and make it look good for their eye shape. And I know this is going to blow somebody's mind, but it really doesn't matter what shape your eye is. The goal in makeup is to make your eye look like it's an almond shape. And the reason for that is that it is the current beauty standard. And we'll talk more about beauty standards another time. Right now, I'd like to point out that my eyelid skin has given up on me. It is crepey and textured and gives me all kinds of grief. But I've found that if you use tiny little strokes and use very light pressure and blend, you can actually still get a smooth eye look. So far, I've just used 2 colors. Now I'm going to grab that light color and I'm going to pop it right there. I want to keep this next to my lash line because for me that movable lid is very small, so I want to make it appear a little larger. Next, I've been dying to use this. I have this teal colored e.l.f. No Budge matte shadow stick, and I'm just going to put it right up under my lash line, and then I'm going to take the tiniest little bit and put it on top of my lid and smudge it out. Usually teal on green eyes, could be a little weird, but I've paired it with enough orangey reds that I think we're going to be fine. And that's just enough to give me a little pop of color. And here's what it looks like with both of them done, and then we're going on to some lashes. I'm using magnetic lashes today, and the most important thing to know about magnetic lashes is that you always shake the magnetic liner before you apply it to your eye. Now I'm using the Kiss magnetic liner, which is my favorite, and I'm using my eye candy lashes. And you basically just apply it just like you would a liquid liner. With the Kiss liner, you're going to allow it to dry and then you're going to add another layer, making sure that you shake the container in between each application. It's important to know that every time you use a different brand of magnetic glue or liner, that it's different. Some magnetic liners are more like a magnetic glue. The most important thing, though, is to make sure you shake them all. The next most important thing about any false lash is that you have to make sure you put a little bit of mascara on so that your lashes are the same color as the lashes you're applying. Otherwise, there will be a weird, obvious disconnect. Now I'm going to do some super fast brows off camera, and we're going to underline with a little bit of concealer to just clean that up and to lift the brow bone a little bit. If you're curious about my brows, I've got a full playlist for you that I'll link in the description. And this is what I love most about magnetic lashes. You just put them on and they stick. Pick them up and place them back on until you get them right. And this is only possible because of the Kiss magnetic liner. If you pull them up more than a couple of times, you're likely to pull up a little piece of that liner, but for the most part, it's going to stay on. And when you put your lash band on, if it's not conforming to your eye shape, because you have a thicker band like this one, you just need to bend those little sections and then work it back and forth a little bit. It kind of warms it up. And then when you place it on your eye, it'll transform to your eye shape. I've worn these lashes 5 times now. They're good for 25 times, but the first time I wore them, I had to trim them because they were a little bit too long. Let's do a quick cleanup under my eyes and brighten. I'm just using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Again, don't worry about the names. I'll have everything typed up for you in the description and the top comment. This is going to give me a little bit more moisture and a little bit of brightening. And for a little bit more brightening, I'm going to use the LA Colors Pro Conceal Highlighter. I remember the first time I used this, I actually thought it was going to be one of those things that kind of showed off all of my little fine lines. But it does say that it's high definition, and it is really, really beautiful in person and I believe on camera. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you think.